Hello everyone, and welcome to some more horrific news. Right, trying to be a bit of a different format with these videos, so let's see how it goes. Hopefully you like it. This article came up, and I'll be honest, it really bloody annoyed me. So I thought I'd take a look at it, especially if we just started up horrific publishing and trying to get that off the ground. Seeing this has just made me kind of sick to my stomach, just purely because of the waste of money. But anyway, let's take a look at it. 1.3 million failed attempt to impose diversity on the publishing industry. It seemed a laudable enough aim, and the Good Literary Agency was launched in late 2017 with more than £500,000 of funding from Arts Council England. Its mission was to identify exceptional writers who identified as black and minority, ethnic, working class, disabled, or LGBTQ, nurturing their work and ultimately getting them book deals. Certainly, as two founders, Arthur and Kesh Shukla, who edited the 2016 groundbreaking essay collection The Good Immigrant, featuring the likes of Riz, Ahmed, and Nish Kumar, and literary agent Julia Kingsford, seem to have necessary credentials. So basically, they're a literary agent. I don't know. I'm sick of this nonsense. As you know, I don't virtue signal on this. We have all sorts on this channel, all sorts get involved. I don't need to signal the virtue. In fact, one thing that really annoys me about indie small press publishing is this: we really accept blah 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 blah, and they just go on, and they don't actually talk about the stories or the quality of the writing. They're just talking about immutable characteristics as if that's enough to sell something, and you're just like, piss off, really. It bugs me because it's actually having the opposite effect, and as we've seen over the last 10 years, it's created more division than brought people together, just purely because the antagonistic way it comes across. But there's 500 grand of taxpayers' money. Now, I have funded horrific publishing, in fact the whole podcast myself. It's my own money goes into it, and maybe someday I'll make some back. I don't think I'll ever pull a living wage off this, but if I can make enough to fund future projects and keep going, I'll be happy. And at the end of the day, the mainstream's the mainstream. It goes for generic, safe, popular, blah blah blah. So anything niche is always going to be underrepresented, so to speak. But then that's up to you to build your bloody audience. What the hell? This is just sounding like a grift, but yeah, we'll go back into it. I'm not going to read the whole article. It's a big lengthy blurb, but we'll pick out a few points, especially the money, which is just disgusting. We're glad to be able to support them as they go forward, she added. And yet 7 years and £1.28 million of allocated public money later, the Good Literary Agency has announced with great sadness it has made the decision to close at the end of March. While staff are being made redundant, the future of all their authors and agents is up in the air. To put simply, despite vast grants being handed to the TGLA, two awards totaling £379,959 were made in 2021, but receive £152,542 annually until 2026. Shukla and Kingsford still couldn't make their idea work as a viable business. Some commentators, such as philosopher and writer Kathleen Stock, have suggested that virtue signalling holier-than-thou brands will always struggle. Writing for the website Unheard last week, she questioned whether Shukla's post-mortem that we did the best we could, or Kingsford's subsequent valedictory remarks that they were hopeful changemakers, were really valid excuses. Right? This is a grift. This is 100% a grift. They've got government funding to basically stick in their pockets for wages. That's what they've done. They've paid themselves all nice salaries before going with this article. It's disgusting. I could do a lot with £1,000, just in terms of advertising, getting people out there, publishing books. £1,000 would do a lot for what I can achieve. I can put a book together for like £500, an anthology, sort of priced it out, so roughly about £500 to put one together. And that's paying competitive rates, because I looked it up, and I've seen what people pay, and I've tried to look after the authors. And then also, before even starting this, I spent 4 years building a rapport, using the podcast, getting people's works out there, using narrated fiction, you name it. There's ways to do it. I didn't need to go and grift over £1 million. How can you fuck up a business with that amount of money coming in? That is disgusting. You can understand now why I'm annoyed. This is just arseholes. Grifting arseholes that jump on a bandwagon and they're playing the white knight, I'm here to save you, oh downtrodden people. Like, how fucking condescending is that? Oh, you poor people, you can't do it on your own, you're shite unless we help you. Fuck off. There's tons of good writers out there. There's tons of shit writers too. It's a whole spectrum, and the whole thing of getting famous or picked up is a lot of luck as much as anything else. And it's just being in the right place, right time. And like I said, this has just really annoyed me because this shit has been going on for 10 years and it's under the guise of being nice. It's the same as a lot of religious charities and so forth. We're nice people, and then when you dig into the background, they're really not. This is no different, just wearing a different face, and it'll pop up again, once all this stuff disappears, which is starting to now. Something else will pop up, and it'll be the same shit, wearing a different skin. There's always these type of gobshites about. Think back to the 80s and the mega churches and all that crap. This is just the same shit. It annoys me because there's taxpayers' money. We are getting taxed to the hilt right now, and there's an article coming out that our council tax is going to go up by 25% in a lot of places. So that means if the worst places are going up 25%, it's going to go up 10, 15. That's going to kill me after April. Like, honestly, you're paying more and more to live, and money like this is getting just spunked down the drain on arseholes. Let's have another look. Ask Arts Council England about the demise of TGLA. I think that's meant to be we asked. The demise of TGLA, though they maintain that almost 1.3 million was money well spent, even if the agency itself is no more. The Good Literary Agency has made a valuable contribution to the cultural sector, platforming underrepresented voices in the publishing world and ensuring that talented individuals from a range of backgrounds receive the training and support to become literary agents. A spokesperson told The Telegraph. And which is true, over the past 7 years, TGLA has represented more than 200 authors and developed publishing deals for over 100, of whom such as young adult author Alex Weedle and crime writer Sam Meir have not only featured in the pages of The Telegraph, but in some cases written for the paper too. However, critics say that includes me. This could all have happened without the lavishly funded TGLA. It's fair to point out that as a community interest company, directors Shukla and Kingsford have only been paying themselves £30,000 annually between them and have been good in that regard. The rest of the article is just shite and excuses. I'd like to pay myself 30 grand a year salary just to, do this, be alright. I'm realistic though, I understand the market. There are 1.5 million books produced every day, which is a ridiculous amount of literature out there. The whole thing with indie publishing and the main publishing houses, like, there's no shortage of books on shelves. You go into any supermarket, airport, shop, there's always books. It's loads, and that's a good thing. There's just loads of choice. So if you're into a niche subject, there's plenty for you. It's up to you to find your niche audience. Same as me. I consider horror, although it's quite a large niche, it's still a niche. And even each of the subjects that we're going to be covering, for example, our first volume, Hauntings, not everybody likes paranormal or ghost stories. Our volume 2, which is currently out now, like for submissions, cryptids, not everybody is into that. Not everybody thinks Sasquatches, Mothman, all that exist, and it's not interesting stories. So each category is going to be its own niche as well. So we've got to find a different market for each. But that's on me to put the work in. These idiots they've paid lip service, they've box ticked. What they've done is they've looked at the funding model, and I've worked with charities and various community organizations early on in my life, and I've seen what an absolute horrible grift it is, and the people that get involved with some of these organizations are not pleasant people. I could talk about the cutthroat world of business. Yeah, when you see some of the nice people, God, yeah, it really opens your eyes. So they have done what they've needed to do to justify the money. The government agency said, well, we ticked the right boxes, we did our checks and balances and handed out the money, and all's right. There's taxpayers' money just getting spunked down the drain on a bunch of salaries. You tell someone on minimum wage, working a shit job, putting in extra hours just to put food on the table and keep a roof over their heads, that these people have been disadvantaged as in arseholes that have done this. As you know, we've featured over 100 authors at this point on this podcast. In fact, not too far off with it. We're not too far off 200 different authors and creators over the course of the podcast. I haven't asked for government funding. Fuck that. 400 grand they're looking to recover as well. God, that's obviously I'll put the link to this article, you can read it and fill yourself. But this is bullshit. Utter bullshit. It's really annoyed me because it's just grifting and taking taxpayers' money under false pretenses that they don't care. They've taken themselves a nice salary for a couple of years. They've polished their good guy badge, and now that basically they can't hide it anymore, they're absolutely shit. They're going to just disappear, and all the writers are left hanging in the air, as I've said, don't know what to do. Yeah, fuck these people. When this ends, like I said, something else will pop up because it's a nature of the game that I don't see the benefit of government funding arts. There's no reason for it. There's plenty of people out there. If you're producing something of quality, and it doesn't matter how niche it is, there's always an audience. We're growing every day on the channel, and more people are coming on board, and I'm surprised at people that pop up that you don't even know who's taking an interest in you, and it's fantastic. You can do it, and I'll not lie, I feel really fulfilled, and I'm a smaller creator, but when you reach someone on a personal level, not a box ticking level, but actually human to human interaction, and you treat somebody as a person and they treat you as a person, and you help each other, and not only I've been able to give people obviously a platform and let you become aware of the work, but also people have helped me out and give me tips and stuff in the background, a lot of stuff you don't see in front of this. I mean, there's a lot of stuff goes on behind the scenes that really makes me grateful to do what I do. But I don't need the fucking virtue signal for it. That pisses me off because anyone that needs a virtue signal, they're hiding something dark. I've talked about that before. Usually the holier than now types are the ones you've got to watch, and I can't be arsed with that shit. So hopefully the authors that have got involved with this to find somewhere else, and maybe it'll galvanize them not to rely on an agency to do it for them. I think that's the main thing I've taken from all my conversations so far with independent creators is you just can't rely on someone. It's up to you to build your own network, and that's not just fan base, but other collaborators and talented individuals that can help you out, and you help them out. If you've got skills, you bring your skills to the table, you help folks out. Other folks have different skills, they bring them to the table, they help you out, and together we can all carve out our little bits. I mean, we all don't have to be Amazon. That's the thing. This be succeed, all we have to do is be sustainable, make enough money back from our projects to pay for themselves and fund the next ones and keep going. And more importantly, you have to have a passion to do this. Just I'm gonna represent repressed or fucking that sort of bullshit, especially in creative arts. That's crap. It really is. It's the most disingenuous thing. But anyway, bit of a longer video, different format, but I just saw this. I wasn't going to look at it, but considering the fact I'm trying to get a publishing company off the ground here and feature as many authors as possible and make it a regular thing, not just a one shot and disappear into the night like these arseholes, it just angers me. It just angers me the amount of waste and excess and no actual interest. If these people were anyway motivated, fucking the. Anyway, I'll not. All right, it's already long enough. But there you go. I'll link the article in the description. So let me know what you think. And until next time, update with the channel, do the type of things, and remember to keep it creepy, keep it horrific.